But I'm just trying to let me just bring him up and see whether or not I can see where he is. That's
Otherwise, people will think I'm a cat. We couldn't have that.
we couldn't have that at all.
There's enough chaos going on around here already. We don't need cats making it even worse.
You might have to. Oh, it doesn't seem to want to say.
And watch what you say, Mr. Pickles. You don't want to scare away the furry fan base.
Just out of interest, I do also have Muscle Captain as well.
Oh, fancy.
That is
Yeah.
fancy.
Right, let's
say every day is Muscle Captain. You know, just couldn't see it because you blocked.
Yeah, I was going to say that is perfect. Right, let me just grab Muscle Pickles from somewhere. I've got them stored all over the place.
Well, how do you have a bunch of copies of Muscle Pickles stored in various locations?
Well, I have to have different tokens on them.
Oh, gotcha.
Because the one that I have now has Newman on it. So that won't work at all. You might have to be a cat until I find everything, because it's not working at all at the moment. But I'm not going to be concerned about it. I'm just going to. I tell you what I might do. That's an idea. Thank you.
You should Photoshop fancy hats on all of those photos.
Well, what?
And then we can change it based on mood.
Oh, that's a good idea. You being serious? I never know whether
I'm never serious. I'm never serious.
No, it doesn't want to appear at all. I've even changed the picture. It's not doing that. Right. I'll work on it as we play. Okay, we're not going to have any introductions today, mainly because I don't think the two new characters have done much at the moment, and I think that we want to see what happens, and then perhaps in a couple of weeks' time, bring in the introductions. But I do want to have a quick recap of what's happened. So last week, we did a whole load of experience rolls, but then a series of things happened. Merrick, who's Fishy's character, came off a boat and joined the group. And then Tarek, who is Tickety Tex's character, was found on the beach. And various things came into being at that point, in the sense that the party knew that there was some kind of whirlwind, tornado, something or other. And then Tarek sort of like fell onto the ground. He was wet, but not with salt water. And they brought him back, and Merrick took off his sword. Wise move when you've got a stranger. But found that once touching the sword, he has like a sore on his hand at the moment. Tarek has his hand bandaged. And then Cyrus got a new apprentice called Flibble. I think that was his name, if I am not mistaken. Bartleby started to form a church, and everything was going well until the party suddenly found out that the Harvest Festival was running late. And they nobly decided to go out and find out what was happening, when a huge amount of refugees appeared in Windvine. And they told of this blight that was taking over, this decay, animals died, blight appeared on surfaces, and they grabbed what they could and literally ran for Windvine. There was a town meeting, and there was a description of what actually happened. And the only other thing that they got was that green-skinned humanoids that moved close to the ground with ball-like pets accompanying them. Their claw-like hands would rake anything and everything. Their fanged teeth would sink into flesh, muscle, and bone alike. They would attack without warning and devour everything in their path. And the farmers, we fled with only the belongings we carry. Some, alas, did not make it. Their cries and screams still haunt us. But the worst sound of all was the hideous laughter of the grey-skinned ghouls, as the party, the refugees called them. And that is where we roughly left it for last week. The party know that there's a 7-day journey to the edge of the bog or swampy, boggy place. And they were about to get ready to do that and decide what to take, who to take. And the other thing is how we're going to cope with that journey is that each character is going to say something that they can do to make those 7 days go positively. And then they will do a roll. And then if they're successful, we add 20% onto the final score. And the idea, if they get it up to 100%, then that's it. They get there safely to the edge of the bog. If they don't get it up to 100%, then something happens on the way and they have the results of that. The other thing, just to let you know, before you leave, there is the option for anybody who would like to talk to any of the refugees who are at the moment camped out in the town hall. You started to have a bit of a chat last time, if you remember, but then the town meeting started. But anybody who is, they're a bit tender at the moment, so we don't want them upsetting. So maybe not send somebody who's just don't send Cyrus. That's what I'm trying to say.
Just trying to find a polite way of saying it.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't understand, but okay.
It's just that, they might be a little bit upset. So
I'm so sorry that your family died and everything. Oh, what's this? Oh, is this a coin behind your ear? Ooh.
Send anyone but Cyrus, please. Anyway, that's where we're up to. So you can start to make plans and let me know what you would like to take. You do, Hazra, you do have Brutus with you, and you do have a cart that you own as well. So you have that with you, so you can, if you wish, take that on the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would people like to do?
Do we have the directions to where we need to go to find out where they came from?
Yeah. So if I just let me just close that. If I on your map, if I move you to the map of where when Windvine is. Okay. Hopefully you can see that. You might have to zoom out or not. So if you imagine the whole of this area is, in geographical terms, is like a glacial valley. So way off, so north is up at the top of the map. So way off to the west is almost like a terminal terrain. So there's mountains way off to the west. And the area between that and Windvine is actually flattened, as if a glacier had moved through it and then eventually gone into the sea. So if you remember, you have mountains to the north as well. That's where you went to capture Melanie, and up there. So you know there's mountains up there, but way off to the west are more mountains. To give you an idea of scale, it'll be 7 days to get to the edge of the peat bog. Another 7 days to get almost like, well, probably a couple of weeks to get past all the farmland, and then just a few more days to the mountains.
What were we supposed to get, like horses too? I think I was, because we were talking about the ride skill a lot.
We talked about getting a scout horse, I think, but
Yeah, I think we wanted at least one so that somebody, me probably, could scout ahead and stop us getting surprised by anything on the road.
Got you. So just to let you know, the town is very much behind you to actually go and do something about this. So they're quite happy to even give their own food and water and things like that. So there's no cost involved in any of this. They are more than happy to provide you with things. So it's just, yeah, go for it.
Yep, I'd want sort of feed for 28 days for Brutus.
Yep.
I've got 6 lots of 5-day rations for myself and 5 water skins.
Yep.
And that should do. I've obviously replenished my traps as well.
Yeah.
Snares.
Yeah. So if you all make your own lists somewhere in your character sheets, you've got like a, I think there's a note section at the bottom, is there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can put in there what each of you have got, or if you just want one person to do everything, then that's fine as well. So does any, sorry, the chat said take some lattes as well. Oh, no, tatats. What are tatats? Take some tatas too. I'm not too sure what those are, but, oh, right. I've got the mussel. Well, I haven't got mussel pickles. I have got Bartleby. Potatoes. Oh, yeah, taters. Potatoes. Right, you've now got Bartleby.
Mash them.
Mashed potatoes.
Put them in the stew.
Does anybody want to talk to any of the refugees? It might give you some more information.
Yeah. Bartleby should, I think.
Well, I'm trying to think of what more information we need without upsetting people unnecessarily. Like, we know where to go. We know generally what attacked. They said that they were caught by surprise. So I think so. It doesn't really. I'm trying to think of other questions to ask them, but
they might just after a successful influence roll, you might just get more information or conflicting information, since there was a lot of them, and so it might be a case of you having to decide what is truthful and what is not truthful.
I want to try to find somebody who is like right on the edge of like they're not fully panicked right now, but like somebody who's clearly upset.
Okay.
And I'd like to offer prayer to them.
Okay then. Yeah. What prayer you
and so my prayer, should they accept, would be a little calmness, and then I'd want to just kind of go in to hear their story, assuming I'm going to hear the same thing again, I guess.
Okay then.
But here would be my folk magic, if you'll allow me.
That'd be good.
Hello, my friend. Amriel is with you.
Oh,
Ooh.
right. Yeah, okay, then a good crit to start off with. Yeah. they failed their resistance roll, so they are nicely calmed by the spell, and they can start giving you some more information. And it's quite interesting, Bart, because once you start to talk, other people sort of like congregate round you. It's almost like as soon as you start to talk, it's like a mini sermon, and people are flocking towards you. And your not necessarily your reputation, but your religion has almost like been mentioned to the refugees. So in no particular order, these are snippets of conversation that they talk to you. It's not only one person, it's a group of them. And sometimes they add little bits to them, and somebody starts the description and somebody else finishes it off, and I'll let you know when that happens. So the first thing that you hear is that the blight started in a large farmstead in the middle of the plain. Okay, so when they're saying plain, it sounds like that's in the peat bog, in the middle of the peat bog. And somebody else sort of like adds at that point that the family who lived there are no longer alive. They actually perished really early on. Somebody else seems to be coughing a bit, and they talk about strange gases that rose from the bog. They were almost like greeny vapors that seemed to emanate when bubbles popped. So it wasn't a hidden gas, it was almost like a green vapor. And they talk about it hanging in the air. That's what they talk about. And then somebody else adds to it that the green vapors drove people mad as they were taunted by imaginary beasts and ghosts, almost as if they'd inhaled it and it had given them hallucinations, and they had been driven mad by torment. One old woman, actually, when you get talking about the blight, she actually says that she found that casting salt over the blight caused it to stop growing, and she actually kept it at bay from her little hut for several days by pouring salt in the doorway of her cottage. But sadly, she ran out of salt and it still got in. Somebody else talks about what they call night terrors. And when this word is said, there's a lot of agreement and a lot of so like said, oh yes, we know what that is. We know we all are very familiar with these night terrors. And the night terrors are a bit like the phantoms in Minecraft. They would fly down from the sky, pick up animals and humans alike. And somebody else mentions that they trained themselves to listen for their screeches and screams. And when they heard them, they would dive for cover. They talk about these night terrors to be huge reptilian bats, or something that you sort of like think in your day and age sounds a bit like a pterodactyl or something like that. Quite a big wingspan and very powerful talents that they seem to just clamp onto whatever they're planning on capturing and then flying up. The grey humanoids, there's a lot of talk about that, and there's a lot that is talking about them sucking blood from animals and humans alike. And they also said that once they had fed on a dead body, that also turned the dead bodies into these grey humanoids as well. And so there was constantly more and more being provided. And yeah, and the other thing that they elaborate on is that they mention that these grey humanoids, these grey savages, those words. So you get grey humanoid, grey savages, grey ghouls. All those words are interchangeable. And they say that they rode on giant boars, and the boars used their tusks to injure people and toss them out the way as they charge through them. The final thing that they talk about is that the journey through the peat bog, because they had to come through some of it, was treacherous. They say there was the gas, there was unsafe ground. They lost people to it. They lost animals. They lost wagons to it. It's almost as if what one old woman talks about it as if the environment was out to kill them or acting against them.
And we're going here. Great. Yeah, plan.
Well, I think we ought to pick up some salt at the general store.
Yeah.
If any of the party members aren't around, Bartleby will be like making sure they know all these details afterwards. But Bartleby, before he leaves, wants to ask, so did you ever see any of these things together, like the night terrors and the gray ghouls?
Oh, yes. So this is when there's a huge discrepancy between everybody's stories. Some say, yes, they work together with the boars as well. Others say that the night terrors only came at night and the ghouls or the grey-skinned humanoids were there by themselves. Some said the common thing is that these grey humanoids and the boars, they actually were riding them. And that seems to be the only connection that those two were together. But the rest of it is completely, it contradicts itself over and over again. It seems to be, just roll your insight for me. Let's see how insightful you are.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you listen to everything and it appears that the most common response are the night terrors actually come at night. But there is this feeling that it was, they talk about that there was no animals in the sky. It was like dark and overcast all the time. It was as if dark clouds had blotted out the sun, and the whole area was quite almost like dusk-like for lighting. You could see when it was daytime, but apart from that, it was quite overcast. And the most common thing is that the night terrors came at night, and somebody sort of like says, hence the name.
Yes.
And somebody
They're not day terrors, are they?
Yeah, and somebody sort of like disagrees with them, and there's a bit of a discussion that goes on at that point.
So there's definitely no sunlight there. It's all overcast all the time.
Yeah, but it does get night.
Yeah,
that
but
makes
there's
sense.
no
Yeah.
direct sunlight coming into the place.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Well, it's all very alarming stories, but we will have a glorious harvest festival, and this will be banished from our land. In the name of Amriel.
Nice.
And I'll use that as my closing statement to return to my party.
And some of them,
like Cyrus is probably outside, so I'll inform him of what they said.
So somebody, as you give you, some of them are sort of like close their eyes and put their hands together, thinking that there might be a blessing or a prayer or something like that. But they sort of like understand what your words mean. to them, and there's various positive comments about you and the church and Sam and Decker, and etc. etc.
Oh, Sam and Decker getting good reviews. That's
Well, they're
Oh,
actually
cool.
there handing out food and water.
oh yeah, because I told them to, right?
Yes.
Wow, I'm surprised they followed my orders.
They-
Okay.
yeah. They probably see it as a way to increase their own reputation here.
Yeah.
You
maybe try
can't
and get
decide
free
whether or
alcohol.
not, yeah, whether or not they're doing it because you said so, or they might think there might be a possible.
Are they collecting for the church while doing this?
Yeah, you notice that they're not picking anybody's pockets, Bartleby, which is a good thing. At
Yeah,
point.
I didn't know they could do that, or I was trying to forget that they could do
Well,
that. But anyways,
They're street boys. They're street boys,
Of course they
thought,
can. Yeah.
like
well,
yourself.
okay, well that's personal. Yeah. So I guess we need to gather our supplies, gather a bunch of salt. Firewood, I believe, is something I mentioned we should get, and I still believe that.
How many sacks of salt do you want?
How
How
big is a
many can we
sack?
get?
It's sort of
It's
like
like a grain sack.
yeah,
You
I
got
you know,
guess-
like the flour sacks that they put on there.
I would say
4 or
2
5?
because
Oh,
I
I'm
mean we
thinking
don't
more.
want to overweigh our wagon.
Okay, you go for 2 then.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Nothing else. Salt is expensive stuff. There's a limit to how. It's going to be a limit to how much is here, I imagine.
Yeah,
Let's get a
but
barrel of seawater.
yeah. So luckily, because they're by the ocean, they do have like salt flats. Well, not salt flats, but they can evaporate water. So it's not not
Reverse
very
desalination.
yeah. It's not very nice. It's not pure salt, but it's good enough. And what somebody else mentioned. What else do you want that is not connected to food? What do you say? Firewood.
Yeah, because I figured if it's moldy and wet and now limited on sunlight, we might grow to love a nice warm
Yeah.
fire.
Okay then.
And we
So
may need to take our own rather than trying to gather there if it's possibly
Exactly.
damp.
so you can have bundles of wood that includes kindling as well. A bundle of wood would normally last 2 to 3 nights of a fire on each of those nights. So how many bundles of wood would you like?
I'm assuming we're gonna be in a forest, correct?
No, it's
No.
an open plain, but there are. It's a
Okay.
bit like if you think originally what it was like a savanna. So it was an open plain that the soil was extremely fertile. So all the goodness would have come down from the mountains, but there were trees in it, but not like clumps of trees. It's just the odd tree dotted around the place.
I say we get enough wood that we should be able to make it there and back. As I don't think we're going to be able to forage for this, and I think we're going to need. I mean, it's a good idea to get familiar with our campfire stuff so that when we get to harder, more difficult, moldy forests, we can still make a good campfire, right, Hazra?
Yes, Bartleby, I totally agree. I mean, I've been out here for the last month anyway, so it's if we done, we shall survive.
So it'll take you 7 days to get to the edge of the bog, and when you get there, you heard about this central farmstead. Is that where you'll be planning on going, or a different place?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Seems
No,
like a
that's
plan.
the goal, unless anybody
Okay,
thought
then.
otherwise.
So
You know, that's the origin.
yeah, so I can tell you that it will take you normally across the plain. It would take 3 days from the edge of the peat bog into the center where the farmstead is. That would sort of like take 3 days. It might take you longer now due to the change of conditions. So if each bundle of do you want enough wood to get you to the farmstead and back?
Yes, that's what I was
Okay.
thinking.
We got a cart, right?
That's why I was kind of like, we shouldn't overload our cart because we're gonna need it for our firewood.
And if you're in a bog, that's going to make it hard to push a cart.
Yeah.
Not
Plus,
ideal
plus, you don't want
carpentry.
to you don't want to break all the bottles of wine either.
So Brutus is like an oxen, I think, is that right, Hazra?
Yep, indeed. My big, beautiful oxen.
Yeah. So he pulls it and slowly but surely. He did once get poisoned. Hazra
Yep, and
nearly.
that person will still pay for that.
So that was Sniffer from Lindo, who sent out
Sniffer.
So yeah, so you've got an open car. Cyrus, are you taking wine with you? I never know whether or not you're.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to take a box of wine with me.
how, how many bottles do you want in this crate? Shall we say
I
12?
Yes, 12 sounds about the right amount of number with Cyrus.
Okay then. And then what are you going to take food wise for each of you? How many? How many days? Like 3 weeks?
No, I'm taking 25 days because it's coming 5-day rations, dirty.
Okay then.
No,
So-
sorry, I'm taking 30. Sorry, 30.
Okay, 30 days of rations for each of you,
Sounds reasonable.
and suitable water skins.
Yeah.
As well.
I think I'd like to take some rags that I could cover my mouth with just in case for the gases.
Yeah. So there's.
Yeah.
So we'll say cloth for face masks.
Yeah.
Just a simple scarf or something that can be pulled up.
I
When
can help
needed.
us hold our breath for at least 7 minutes, but we can't talk during that time.
Well,
I don't think
Well,
Cyrus.
so only 20
can we
seconds.
do that to
then.
Cyrus a lot?
I don't think. Did he hear that?
You talk about my wine farts?
No. Yeah. So you. It will be. It might be an issue to hold your breath for a huge amount of time, but of course, it might all be just nasty rumors.
Yeah, they were pretty split on it, but I think it's a good idea to bring face masks or use a scarf if you have one. And we'll trust in Amriel if things get dangerous.
Or, and hear me out, they're blaming all of this crazy bog and just crazy disgusting grayness on all the salt they keep putting everywhere, which is really what's destroying their crops.
I always know it's going to be something out there when you say, hear me out.
I mean, that's actually logical. That makes sense.
They all think, oh no, it's witchcraft, but really this is bad farmers.
They're just poisoning their plants with extra salt.
Dehydrating plants
We're
want.
just purifying the land, damn it.
Flibble, I'm assuming you're not taking Flibble with you.
Why would we not take Flimble? He is like the MVP of this group.
You can take him if you wish. Remember, Cyrus, he wants you to find his parents. Yeah.
We can take him.
It's up
Just
to
so he
you.
can learn. I need someone to take care of me. He's like, he's essentially my unofficial squire.
Right. Okay, then.
Yeah.
Let's.
I need someone to polish my boots and make sure when I pass out at night I land on a pillow.
Okay.
And not the oxen's butt.
Okay, then. So let's see if if I can find a suitable token for him. Because obviously, when you get into Okay, found one. There you go.
Do I recall this originally coming from a subterranean source?
The mold or problems.
Yeah.
I think they said that the gray ghouls crawled out of the ground.
Yeah, that's what they're.
Um,
So they're,
And
they're
this-
either, you know, the dead come back, or maybe they come from underground in the first place. In case they do come from underground, should we maybe have some rope in case we need to go searching for the
Nice.
source down there?
Can I use this idea?
Go for it.
Sorry. I was gonna say, can I roll lore monsters with this to consider what I know of these creatures and what that might mean?
I think. Do you not do it last adventure?
No.
I don't remember doing it.
I think
I
we were
could
just
have.
listening to what was happening and just absorbing. We
Okay,
didn't really.
yeah. So roll your lore monsters. Yeah, they're sort of like bits and pieces, sort of like connect together, but they don't seem to be from one source. So gray-skinned humanoids almost like point to creatures that live underground, but most of them do not suck blood or have fangs. A lot of times goblins ride on boars, but they would be green skinned rather than gray skinned. And you're not, if you take everything that you've heard and put it together, you've never come across anything like this before. And you definitely haven't come across these reptilian giant bats. It seems to be something completely new. You not heard about any of them at all.
Yeah, let's get some rope.
I think Hazra normally has some rope.
I do indeed. Yep. I've got 10 meters of rope. I've got my usual door jump. Oh God, what's door jump? Tinder, rope, snares, bedroll, backpack. Where's my grappling hook? Right,
Grappling hook, yeah. So how many lots of 10 meters of rope do you want?
And take up a lot of space, will it? So if we have a few in the cart, just in case.
Like one each.
Okay.
Yeah, seems fair.
So we can have 5 lots of that. Okay. And you've got feed for Brutus. Your cart.
I've got 28 days feed for Brutus.
Yeah, your cart's getting more and more full at the moment. So
Yep.
Are we getting horses, guys?
that's exactly what I was going to ask.
Fit in.
We might not be able to fit all of us on this cart, and by all of us, I mean you guys.
Well, it normally can pick 2 people can sit up front if Hazra wants that. Hazra normally leads it, but he can sit on the top of the wagon, so you have 2 people up front riding shotgun, and then you can have people dangling their legs over the back if needed. Or walking by the side. Brutus is not a fast moving.
No. But I'm also conscious about the amount of weight that's going in the back of here.
Yeah. So do you want a horse, Merrick?
Yes, I definitely want a horse, because I think it's worth our while having an outrider to scout ahead. So
Okay. So
I'll get a horse too. I'll also ride a horse.
Do you know how to ride a horse, Cyrus?
I know how to do everything.
Well, that's true. You did say that you led armies before you came to Lindo, so
As long as the word led is very subjective, and yeah.
Oh yes, please get a horse. Please get a horse.
I'm gonna get a horse. I'm also part of this
I can
gang.
imagine
isn't riding like dexterity and power? He should be really good at that.
Yeah, he should
Sure.
be.
Acrobatics and like he's always dancing around.
He'll be able to do that thing that you
I could
run,
probably. Ooh.
that you sort of like slide off the horse and ride it half over to one
sideways.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shelter behind the horse's body and cast spells over the top. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward
Yeah.
to seeing him do that.
Or do
Easy
that.
peasy.
Hang
Do that
upside
thing.
down under the horse and bang the head on the floor.
or get off and run along the side for a while and then get back
And pop
onto
back on
it.
again.
Yeah.
pick things up as you go. Oh, this is going to be fantastic.
Maybe stand on top of the horse and do some cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch him closely. I might pick up a few tips.
Like a surfboard.
Flibble does offer to ride behind you and put his arms around you if need be. Or you can ride with him in front.
No, Flimble can be on the cart. I'm not carrying that little boy around.
Okay, so he can be on the cart.
Yeah.
Right. Anything else that you want to take? I've got the list in the chat.
Probably tents or tarps or something for all of us.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Do we not already have that?
You probably
Yeah,
already
but
have that, but
we have that, but throw it in the cart so we don't have to carry it on us.
five, one each.
And plus one for the little boy. I
Oh,
guess.
is he going to have his own?
Yeah.
It might be better just getting one large one, a Kindle one,
Yeah, you can have one large one and all.
because otherwise it's going to be way too heavy.
Of course, he's gonna have his own. I mean, he's not gonna share a tent with me. I'm not a priest.
Oh. It's about to be muted.
Sorry, Bartleby.
No, I'm just.
He's awestruck.
Pickles
He's
is muted, but I think Bartleby may be at this moment. Yeah.
Okay, so are you going with one big tent or 6 smaller tents?
I could do one big tent.
Yeah, we've slept in rooms before.
Yeah.
Safety in numbers.
And
If we're
besides,
in individual tents, then
What
ghoul
one tent
things
is
could
easier
creep
to
up and
watch?
kill us one at
Yeah.
a time.
What one tent is easier to watch rather than 5 or 6?
That is a good point. I'm just swapping us to the small one, and then I'll have to redo the all the cameras. So just bear with me while we do that, because of course all the cameras are wrong on my small one. Okay, so the other thing that we need to do is that we need to make sure that you, if you remember last time, I asked you all to think of something that you would like to do that you could roll to keep the party well, if that makes sense. You know, what are you going to actually do during the journey to make sure that the party is kept safe? So remember, each one of you can have a skill roll, okay? And then the skill roll itself, if you are successful in it, it will add 20 points to the 100 that you're working towards. And then, but if you crit, then that's even better. Then you'll get more. You'll get double the amount. But if you fumble, you lose amounts. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
So let's start with you, Hazra, because I think yours is going to be the easiest one.
Indeed. Well, I was going to be doing the tracking and scouting ahead, but Merrick's going to be doing that now.
Okay.
Well, I can't track, but if I know what direction we're going, I can scout.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll do my usual nighttime hunting for animals, you know, put them on traps, and then the cooking side of it. But I also will, chances are, just keep an eye out during the night because I can sleep on the wagon during the day.
Got you. So what skill will you want to roll?
I'm going to go survival.
Yeah.
Or do you want me to do
survival?
Well,
sounds
survival would
good.
be spot on. Yeah.
Yeah. Survival sounds fantastic, and that would actually fit in nicely. Right, everybody's in the right places.
Nice.
Right, let me just go back to that. Nice, yeah. So that's your first 20 into the pot, with Hazra coming up with a good survival. Well, who would like to go next?
I have one.
Yeah, go for it.
I think it would be foolish of me to not use folk magic in the sense that I have repair. So if the wagon breaks down at all, I can start to quickly use Amriel's powers to fix that.
Nice.
As well as healing to get rid of anybody's hangover. If anybody has a hangover in the morning, I can get rid of that specifically.
Yeah.
I have protection that I can give a certain few people who are clumsy from recovering from their hangover. Vigor to bring fatigue up. So I think folk magic would have to be my application.
Yeah. Sounds very good. So would you
unless you prefer lore monsters?
I think folk magic and supporting via spells will be a nice addition. It'd be something that can be used well. Yeah. Sounds that is very good. So that's another 20 onto
Very
the
nice.
so we're up to 40 at the moment. We're up to 40. Okay then. Who's going next?
Merrick, we already know, wants to be scouting around for any dangers on the road.
Good point. Yeah.
And he wants to keep himself safe at the same time. So I'd like to do that with stealth, if you'll allow that.
Ooh, nice. Are you going on horseback?
That depends on how stealthy I can be on horseback.
Right.
Honestly.
So what happens in Mythras is that one skill limits the other skill.
Yeah. So it'll be the lower of the two if I'm on horseback.
Yeah. So what's your stealth and what's your ride?
Well, my stealth is much better than my ride.
Okay. So it'll either be capped to your ride skill. So you just roll your ride, or you could go off stealthing every night or something like that if you didn't want to risk the horse.
Thinking if I ride ahead by default anyway, and then maybe once an hour leave the horse with the cart and scout on foot for a while for a proper look around.
Yeah. Okay then. So roll your stealth then.
Okay.
Good. You're up to 60. We only need 2 more, Tarek and Cyrus. What would you like to do?
I'll probably be doing on this way. I'll probably be doing a witch site, which is to see any sorcery on the way.
Yeah.
But I can't tell that would be perception or if that would be just using witch sight for
well, you could
folk magic.
You can also turn into a bird.
Yeah, true.
That's cheating.
So you might do. You can do. So if we say a bit like Bartleby did folk magic, but there were lots of different spells that he could use with folk magic. You can either decide to do folk magic and talk about what did you say, witch sight, to see whether or not there's magical auras. Is there any?
It probably makes sense that something I would do is I'd probably turn into my hawk form and then and scout ahead using witch sight.
Yeah. So roll your incantation, your sorcery roll. Ooh, nice one. We're up to 80. Tarek, it's down to you. Bring the party home.
So I had 2 ideas. I could either use my folk magic, which I have find, so that I could help find livestock like deer and make it faster to find food.
Yeah.
Or I could try to boost my perception with the spirit of a raven. And
so you decide which one you want, because one would be a folk magic roll. And if you choose to go with your animal totem, your animal spirit of a raven, then that will be your binding spell.
All right. And
So
let's do the raven because it's my first time using a
nice.
spirit.
Oh, everybody's on point today. Tarek, do you want to just comment, or I can say what would happen? But I think if you're using your spirits, the other players might want to know what it looks like, because they haven't seen. Well, Bartlby's seen a spirit once, didn't you, Bartleby?
I was possessed by a spirit once, and then somebody tried to, well, they kicked me on purpose to try and heal me.
So, do you want to say what happens with your animal spirit?
I'll just start off by saying that he holds the fetish of the raven skull and the feathers, and then we'll say, Ska, come forth and aid me, and then you can describe what the spirit looks like.
Yeah, so the for anybody who's watching, once he does that, then it's almost as if you see a ghostly raven coming from behind him and sort of like swoops in. And as it swoops in, it almost like goes through the raven's head, comes through Tarek's head as well. And you almost like see that he's got this ghostly outline of this raven's head with a beak, claw, and everything. So it sort of like swoops down through his head, and he probably has his arms out as he calls the binding, so they become the wings. And you notice that his eyes turn very bird-like, and then once he's done it, it just sort of like disappears out of him. So it's almost
Nice.
like it's not possessing him. It's almost like flowing round him as his spirit. Merrick,
Mhm.
through all this, can you roll for me, please, an endurance check?
I'd rather not, but I can. I can try anyway. Oh, no, apparently I can't.
Oh, now
that's terrible.
But you could use a point of luck and reverse it, and then that would be the best roll ever.
Yeah, I think I'm going to spend a point of luck and reverse that.
Yeah. So you notice that the sore on your hand, it hasn't got any worse. It looks like the pussiness of it that has sort of like started to harden a bit, and it's looking more like it looks more scabby at the moment. It's not giving you any pain. It's gone through that red inflammation stage, and it seems to be hardening up at the moment. Is there anything you would like to do, or
I'm going to assume that means it's getting better, and I shall hold off for the moment. If it wasn't getting any better, I was going to have a word with Bartleby, but I think that looks hopeful for now.
Okay. So just so you know, you have avoided the following things. So you could have lost your food altogether, or you could have broken the cart, and the cart would be completely and utterly beyond repair, for want of a better word. You could have also gained injuries. So when you got to this part of the adventure, you would actually start with injuries, loss of hit points. But you've managed to resist and avoid all that. So you're now getting closer and closer, and everything's been quite normal up to this point. But it's when you actually arrive at the bog that you notice that things are changing. And as you get closer and closer, Hazra, you notice that the animal sounds tend to disappear almost like a day's travel to the edge. You also notice, Hazard, that the vegetation becomes more and more sparse, and you notice that the ground starts to lose its grassiness and things like that as you get closer and closer. Now, I've got a picture of what the bog would look like. If I can find where I put it. Oh, yes, I know where it is. So I'm going to bring it on to the main screen, and then I'll make it bigger. Can you all see that?
Yeah, I don't see the dead elves.
Yep, there's no dead elves, and there's
Got
no salt at the present moment in time. So I got a bit of a. I'm just trying to bring it to the front. So it just wants to sit behind.
There is an umbrella right there.
Just sticking out. So this is the bit of the description for you. So the solid ground gives way to a marshy peat bog. Small patches of earth stuffed with rough grass can be seen for miles any direction looking forward. So it doesn't look like you can go round this. It seems to have spread out across the whole of the plain. Now and then, small bubbles come to the surface and sort of like burst. And you can see that when they do, there's sort of like a of this green vapor that seems to dissipate quite quickly. But there's definitely an alien smell around here. You notice that moving low to the surface is a thin, whispery mist that seems to move without any wind or breeze. It's not just hanging, it seems to be moving. And just so you know, it seems to be moving from the center of the bog out towards you. So it's sort of like is constantly moving. And as it reaches the edge of the bog, it just slowly dissipates. And you can see that this goes in every direction. The whole landscape feels like death and decay, and dark clouds hang low in the sky, blotting out the majority of the light. And every now and again, you can hear an unearthly screams of some kind of flying predator. You never see them, but you hear them, and they just pierce the silence as you get there. In the distance, far distance, you can see proud against the dust-painted sky. You can see the mountains watching over the scene. And in several places, you can see the remains of wooden fence posts that are jutting out at unfamiliar angles. The land appears to have been altered beyond any recognition. The once fertile plains of Windvine are now a waterlogged, mist-covered environment where nothing seems to live at all.
I'm a city boy, but even to me, this don't look like.
Yeah.
It is as if nature has turned upon itself.
Definitely looks like that.
How far away are we from this town?
So the farm, the center of the farm will be another 3 days. Normally, it would be 3 days into the center of the peat bog.
All right. I'll make sure to try to track ahead of the cart. Make sure there's no like major amount of swamps. that the cart is going to get
Okay.
stuck in.
Hazra, can you just roll your survival skill for me?
Yeah.
Survive. Ooh.
Now, that's a pretty good roll. That is a pretty good roll there. You're not sure about this wagon.
Well,
Go
I
through
don't
this
think
big...
Brutus is going to go through it.
Yeah.
No, unless somebody's walking in front of the wagon, poking the water to see how deep it is. Even
Well, that's
then,
what I was thinking with the horse.
Get him stuck down there.
Yeah.
I don't think Brutus should be going in here. It's too heavy.
Yeah, you think there could be deep water, but you also, as you sort of like look at the edge, you even notice that where the grass is, that is quite peat boggy.
Yeah, peat boggy.
Yeah, it's...
And also the green gases, if they get into Brutus's nose, imagine if he panics and runs. Cyrus, I think with your permission, hopefully, that maybe we should send Flibble back with Brutus back to the town, and we carry our supplies from here.
We'll just leave him here to look up when the wagon come back. Pick it up on the way back.
I'm only halfway done with my run.
Have you seen the screeching in the skies? Have you heard it? If it's these things, could you have it possibly on your conscience that Flibble may be torn from the ground and taken to who knows where?
You notice
all of a sudden you're scared of birds?
Flibble's colours draining from his face as we talked about it. Being picked up from the sky.
Oh, he wasn't here for that meeting, was he? I don't know. I will not take Brutus in there, or the cart, because he's too heavy. He'll sink.
Maybe we should back up a little, make camp,
make him run up,
and then make plans.
Take a run up and jump.
Yes, I think. What time is it about now?
You've come to it's sort of like Sunday, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it looks a little bit later because of the dark clouds. But I'll give it for your survival roll, as you could probably guess, Hazra. It's probably not a good time to travel through here.
No. Get stuck halfway in the dark. No.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Let us make camp a little back a ways and see what we can do tomorrow.
All right.
Okay. So is there anything else that now that we're into camping grounds, we need to make sure that we've got an order of watch, and you're all in a big tent together. You can put Brutus, because you're on the firm ground, you can unshackle him and tether him to a post, so he's quite safe there.
Yeah.
And then, are you eating your rations, or are you going hunting, Hazra?
Assuming we didn't catch anything the night before, then I would be eating rations and then going out on my watch. I'll go set traps up and yeah.
Okay.
Have a nice breakfast.
Set them away from the bog.
Yeah, I call this great thing.
Yay, gray steaks.
Yay.
Bartleby would like the midnight watch.
Okay, then. So
I bet he would.
Yeah, because the moon and religion.
So if somebody just types in the order of watches into the chat.
Merrick's easy with whatever watch people want to give him. He's new to this group, so he doesn't know whether they already have a pattern to this, and he'll fit in wherever they want.
Rolex. So hang on, yeah, I know.
Got it. Okay, I got it.
So Hazra's going first, then Bartleby.
I'll go next. I guess. But
Honestly, I should probably go next because if
okay.
I wait till the end, I'll be too drunk to properly
This
watch.
really fills you with confidence.
Maybe you should be first in that
I
case.
might be first. I have to be first. Yeah. Yeah, because I can't promise I'll stay much more than the 2 hours.
Instead of doing like perception, can I do a trance?
Yeah, so for people who are not aware, the animists do trances in order to perceive the spirit world. It's their way of looking into the world. Just to make everybody aware, spirits cannot harm anybody unless they're manifested. So in order, a spirit can't harm anybody unless it materializes onto the mundane plane, and you can't harm spirits unless you go into a trance and cross over. So
Cyrus can harm spirits.
Say again, sir?
Cyrus can harm spirits.
By drinking them.
I think it should be pointed out, modern animists use trance, older ones used prog rock.
Empty.
Yeah. So you're a shaman, aren't you? That's your rank, I think.
Yeah, that is.
So yeah, so it will only take you literally,
round,
yeah, about 5 seconds to get into your trance. So let the players know how you do this.
So I'll sit down and pull out various bones and some candles, light some candles and put them around me in a circle, and then sit cross-legged.
Bartleby gets excited.
And bow my head and then start mumbling some strange words.
Don't you love? I think Bartleby loves candles.
I do. I that's something I always carry around with me. Some pure candles to remind myself of Amrail even when I'm in a dark place.
Nice. So roll your Tarek, roll your trance. That'll do. Okay then. So I'll just narrate it outside, and then assuming that you can then tell everybody else if you want, or you can just paraphrase it back to them. So the first thing that you notice that when you go into your trance, it seems that the peat bog is actually you see 2 of them at least, nature spirits. They seem to be controlling the ground. They don't attack you or anything like that, but they seem to be going around, and as they go round the peat bog, they seem to be almost like farming it and changing the domain as they go. And every now and again, they sort of like come to the edge and almost like spend some time in one place. So you notice that almost like the peat bog grass and the mounds slowly rise up and poke out of the water. Then the water sort of like comes up out of the ground as if it was low down, and the spirits seem to be bringing it up. It appears to you, Tarek, that this whole bog has been created with nature spirits interacting with the environment itself.
So one's doing water and one's doing earth pulling.
They can both do both.
Both of them? Okay.
Yeah. There could be more here. They don't. You don't think 2 would have been good enough to do everything, because they can only affect the environment really slowly. But it definitely, definitely that they're actually creating the landscape at the moment.
That's concerning. I don't see anyone projected on the plane or anything, right? Just the spirits.
Yeah, correct. Just the spirits, and they actually. I've got a picture of what they look like. If you would like to.
That'd be cool.
Oh, hang on. I don't think I uploaded it. Hang on. Right, I'll just upload it, and then you can see it. So yeah. So what are you going to be telling the party? Put it into a nice narrative for them, as if you're sat round the fire talking about it after you come out your trance. Or they might want to ask questions.
Yeah, seeing me do that.
Yeah.
I'll just open my and when I do that, my eyes kind of glaze over in a gray look when I do it too.
I think most of the party are used to people with their eyes glazed over, because that's just Cyrus later in the night.
Yeah. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it. That's lovely.
That's what you see. And they seem to be.
See, I had a vision of these two ladies going around doing that, not some horrible green.
Obviously, my description was perfect. Yeah, go for it, Tarek.
All right. So, this ground obviously is not natural. There are two spirits that are pulling the water and the earth and separating the earth and the water, mixing them together, all around this area. And normally nature spirits aren't, I mean, I might be wrong, but I believe they don't usually try to manipulate the land unless prompted to.
Yeah, they do it in their natural environment. So a nature forest spirit will naturally make trees grow.
Trees grow, right?
Yeah. So there's roll your. I think you have law spirits.
Yeah.
As a skill, unless you want to do something else.
Oh, I'll use a point of luck and switch that around to 28.
Okay, yeah, 28. Okay, you've never seen these peat bog spirits.
Okay.
It's nothing that you have been familiar with or anything, and you definitely haven't seen them before. It's not something that's been done part of your schooling up to this point.
Okay.
After hearing this, Hazra will come up to Tarek and ask, does salt harm these things at all? These spirits? Something you know?
The only thing that can harm a spirit is magic, or a shaman like myself, and another spirit can harm a spirit, but they have to be on the same plane in order for them to be hurt. Right. So a spirit would have to manifest itself here around us in order for us to do any damage to it, and vice versa.
Yeah. And you can only use magic, and if you have a magic weapon, i.e. if you put like blade sharp on it, the only damage that the spirit takes is the blade sharp damage.
Oh,
yeah, it won't take the full.
It won't take.
How does that work with the current blade? Presumably that would mean that you'd be doing what, a D4 damage with blade sharp, because it ups the die type now, doesn't it?
Exactly. So you would just be doing that 1d4 lot of damage, but it doesn't matter what weapon you've got, because it's own. If you slice through a spirit, it's only the blade sharp that is actually damaging it. The normal mundane weapon doesn't have any effect on it at all.
And even if we were to fight the two nature spirits I saw, it takes more than two to cause the entire bog. So
yeah,
it wouldn't be enough to just kill the two.
What I was trying to understand was the lady at the hall said she used, or there was a lady said she used salt to keep these things back.
That's it won't.
It won't do anything.
No, okay.
The only other thing, just so your heads up, so you, I can see a certain skill getting a lot of attention shortly. If you do go into spirit combat with anything, so if it tries to possess you or attack you, your skill is your willpower. Okay, for Tarek, he has binding, and that's his combat skill against it, and that's like fighting mind to mind. The other thing is with willpower is that it's one grade more difficult, because binding is the proper one, and then willpower's, so you would increase one step of difficulty. That seems to be a good place to have our break, and then people can think about anything that they would like to ask Tarek, and where these things are from or where they come from, etc. And then Tarek and I can feed in that information. So we're going to take a 15-minute break, people. So we'll be back at 1:45 the hour. So it's snack time and coffee time. And I'm really excited because I got a hot cross bun to eat. I've got a hot cross bun. So we will see you in about 50 minutes. Okay, see you soon. What? Oh. Do you have hot cross buns in America?
The song?
No, the buns. Yeah.
No. There's a song called Hot Cross Buns, but I don't know that we have any kind of product called
like 1 a penny, 2 a penny,
2 a penny, hot cross buns. That's
if
what
you got
Lisa's having at the moment.
Yeah,
we don't have that actually. No, all of our buns were monopolized by the Kardashians.
Okay.
Is that a rude comment?
It's like half.
Yeah, it's trending towards rude, but it doesn't get that.
Okay. Okay. So, anybody want to discuss anything with Tarek at this point?
I mean, this has been the most we've heard from you on this trip, I feel. And a shaman, what skills do you actually have with these things? Can you stop them from corrupting the land?
I would have to probably either
bind them or kill them.
Yeah, I was thinking I might be able to talk to them out of it, but I highly doubt that.
So you reckon they're being controlled by somebody that they wouldn't be doing this normally?
It could. But they do, I mean, normally they do these type of things, like they're bog spirits essentially, but they're nature spirits, but then the order of bog, if you will, right? Like
But why would they be here in the plains? Because there are no bogs in the plains.
That's the question, is why are they here?
So they're out of their element.
Mm-hmm.
Did they pose a threat to us?
Was that a joke? They're out of their element.
Semi.
Are they a threat?
Yeah, like if we go past them, are they going to reach out and bite us? I've had spirits attack me before, so
they would have to cross the plane first, but they seem content just doing whatever they're doing. I'm sure they could see us if I can see them.
Okay, so the interesting thing is nature spirits normally appear and live in the same environment. So I think Merrick, you mentioned it in the sense that normally this area should have
forest,
grassland spirits or savanna spirits. It shouldn't have these spirits, which means that they've been brought to this area and commanded to do it. Because otherwise they would just be like grassland
in a bog
spirits.
somewhere. So yeah, they wouldn't be here. They'd be somewhere in a bog, being boggy,
and
happy
that's
where they were.
But Tarek doesn't know this is a completely new type of spirit for him.
Yeah, I don't know what they're capable of. I don't know if they're capable of manifesting on our plane or not.
So at the moment, they are creating their own land here.
Yeah.
So they can live here and spread.
Closer to Windvine, yeah.
Mm.
Did you say you can talk to them, but it probably wouldn't do much?
Yeah, I can talk to spirits.
Can you try talking to these ones?
Find out why
can-
they're here.
You can
Yeah, just-
negotiate with them.
Oh, I can negotiate. Okay. So that's part of the binding, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, if they're currently bound or being commanded by somebody else, I'm not going to be able to do anything. They'll,
Is there a way you can tell whether they've been bound by somebody else?
when they're out of their well, innate, like we had said, the nature spirits stick to the biome in which they're from. A bog spirit should be in a bog. It shouldn't be in a forest, a plain, or a savanna.
So somebody's
so
definitely told.
Somebody's definitely told them to come here, or they bound them in a bog and then brought them over, and now they're creating a bog. So it's a perpetual cycle right now, but it had to start somewhere.
So just for everybody's information, spirits can be bound to 3 items. They can be bound to a fetish, like Tarek's raven spirit is. They could be bound to an area or location, or they can be bound to an animal. So you can actually bind a spirit to a pet, and that's fine. But it sounds like what Tarek is saying, they've been bound here, and so they can't leave this area. They can just manipulate the area. So they're probably being controlled by somebody else, Tarek.
Right.
I mean, it makes sense if they've been bound to this place, that they'd want to make this place more familiar to them. So probably all would have to be done is actually bind them here, wouldn't it? And then they'd do the business of turning it into a bog without any further instruction, probably.
Yeah, make it a comfortable place for them to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does one go about breaking a binding?
It takes a certain level of skill and training in binding a spirit. You have to make a deal with the spirit in order for it to obey you. I have a certain number of spirits that are part of my
Family.
my order. My what?
Your family.
My family.
You have a family of spirits.
I do have a family of
Yeah.
spirits. That's what it says on my sheet.
Yeah.
They're all under my family. And I have an order that I was trained in, the order of necrosis. And within that order, I have the ability to bind and utilize various spirits. And the raven spirit, which I used earlier, is one of those. It's actually a nature spirit, much like these bog ones, but in the spirit of a raven.
So nature spirits can either be animal based or biome based.
Yeah.
And just Bartleby, just for your information, there are spirit deities. So Tarek mentioned here is spirit god, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I had a feeling he would ask me what that is or what that was.
Yeah.
So
I don't recognize most other gods. I'm a little bit devoted. You could say I'm 101% devoted.
At the moment.
So
Yeah, at the
you
moment.
couldn't summon a grass spirit to push back the bog, or a tree spirit to suck up the water.
I'd have to go to a forest and then find a tree spirit and talk with them and either negotiate a deal or bind them, either from that deal or by fighting them in spirit combat and subduing them.
I see.
I don't I don't know that one forest spirit would be enough. I have a feeling that if we were to find out who's controlling these bog spirits and removing them, or breaking the binding, they'll return back to the location that they had originated from, and we could get a forest spirit to come back and start building the forest again, or the plains.
So these bindings, once they're fixed, do they stay, or are they dependent on the person who bound them? And if we find who did it and kill them, does that end the binding or not?
Yes.
Wow.
I
That gives us a
because
direction.
the pact would be over.
Yeah, it's like a pact.
So you're telling me that we went from one person with one imaginary friend to we have a new person with many imaginary friends.
I do have many imaginary friends. They all have names.
Are you referring to Bartleby as the other person?
What's really sad is that Cyrus is probably the imaginary friend to Bartleby. Everybody else is just humoring this. When Bartleby drinks, Cyrus comes out.
That would be so funny.
I'm gonna fake my imagination every time.
But I have 101% devotion. Why is my imaginary friend anti-religion?
The anti
You're just very devoted to your illness. That's all. Your mental illness. All right.
So
fine.
We left it that you was going to sleep through the night and then decide what you were going to do with Wagons, Brutus, and Flibble, etc. So just to let you know, the night goes quite uneventful, apart from a few things. Hazra, this place seems so strange to you because there's not that background hum of nature.
I was going to say I put my traps out, but I've got no hope of catching anything because there's nothing around here.
Exactly, but there's not even the sound of insects.
The buzzing of flies.
Yeah. Oh, I got.
Yeah. There we go.
It's not even that. None of that at all, and it's quite unsettling for you. The other thing that you do notice, I mean, obviously you have a campfire, but all of you notice that as you look into the bog, into the distance, you can tell that it's just like darkness. It's as if not even the moon, Bartleby, comes through the clouds. It's just sort of like, it's almost like blocking out. And Tarek, I mean, things like storm spirits could be used to do things like this, or, rain spirits that are summoning up clouds. So it could be that there's more than one or two types of spirits operating here. The other thing that you notice, Bartleby, is that as on your watch, it's a really strange perception for you in the sense that Amriel's light is shining down on one side, the side that you're on, but as you look into the bog itself, there's no moonlight there at all. It's as if her powerful light can't even shine into the bog area. You all notice through the night that the only sound that you hear, well, two things. Number one, the occasional sort of like bloop, as what seems to be gas rises up and bursts on the surface. And probably, Bartleby, on your watch in the dead of night, you do hear what appears to be almost like a barn owl screech, if that makes sense. So as if there's two screeches coordinating with each other and screeching across the bog, but you don't see anything. but you definitely hear, you think this might be the night terrors that you've heard before.
Okay. So I would recognize this sound if I heard it again later on.
Most definitely.
Okay. Do the sounds seem to like cross over at points, or are they coming from distant locations, like one to the other, or
they seems to be coming from further in the bog, and as you look in, it sounds as if something over to your right is communicating to something over in your left. You sort of like hear a screech to your right. You look over and trying to, when you're trying to look for that aeroplane in the sky, and you sort of like try to track it, and then all of a sudden it stops, and another one, you hear it over to your left, and as if they're calling or communicating. You don't see anything, and they're at a distance. It's not as if they're very close or anything like that.
Okay, good to know.
This is on wings. This is.
There's definitely something going on here that is not 100% natural.
Yeah, and I'm gonna talk to Hazra in the morning.
Okay then. So the rest of the evening on the night watches go according to plan. You're right, Hazra. There's nothing of your there's nothing in your traps at all when you go to grab them the next day.
Losing your touch.
Literally nothing at all. It's quite peculiar, and you did some good traps as well. It wasn't if they were rubbish traps.
I always do good traps.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so once you have awoken, and I think you wanted to talk to Hazra, Bartleby.
Yeah, I'd like to make that a priority in the morning, and share that the sound I had heard, and just kind of try and see. Well, you know a lot about animals, and especially hunting animals coming from the steppes, you had said.
I do.
Is this like a coordinated behavior? Do you think animals are capable, or monsters like this are capable of using distraction coordination tactics?
Oh, yes. But all the time you see with wolves. Sometimes you'll have one wolf distracting the prey at the front while the others gather around behind and attack from the sides. But the same with velociraptors.
Well, they're clever girls.
Clever girls. No, it's true. Yes, animals are very cunning things. They have brains. Some they are more intelligent than humans.
Yeah, they should have delicious brains.
Delicious brains, baboon brains.
Well, we're going to need to be wary going forward.
We definitely do, if that is what you heard. Yes,
but it was
indeed.
only at night.
But if you look over in the distance over the bog, it's like a permanent night. It's dark all the time.
And then we all so scared. Let's do it.
Yeah, we're used to going to where the Amriel doesn't shine.
That's true.
That's a consistent in theme of our adventures. We went into the Harpy Queen's den, even though Amriel was feeling a little cautious. We will bring the light into this place and banish these evil things.
And you went into a library. Went into a library as well.
Yep, and I had terrible nightmares while I was awake.
We went into a sewer and found a monster in there or something.
Yeah, Amriel kind of thought that was gross, so that's why she didn't follow.
That might have just been a giant sheep.
I have belief in the beautiful Amriel and your power, your goodness to protect us.
I'm hearing harpy. I'm hearing monster. Do you guys ever fight guys with swords?
There was those one werewolves that we fought. Cyrus really helped us out.
Yeah, it was all really on me, really. But
when was that?
There was people were trying to get us to help them again.
It was like a whole
with
thing.
the dryads.
Oh, I remember. Yes, and you had the golden child, so to speak.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Yes.
And there was that woman who tried to who did seduce Cyrus. Kept taking
it wasn't poison.
Don't remember that. Don't remember.
Who turned out to be a hideous beast.
She just drank all of your magic points.
No, she definitely drained me.
That's rude, isn't it?
It is, but it's also true in the sense that I remember being like, okay, well, let's see. This
is how I get past the censors.
I knew it was rude because of Hazra's laugh. It was a rude Hazra laugh. Okay, then. So, what's going to be your plan? Are you going to send the wagon back to base with Flibble? Or Anna, you're going to carry your own stuff, etc. You figure it'd be about 3 days now to get to the farmstead. So if you want to do farmstead and back to this place, it'll be about 6 days, about a week of travel.
I wouldn't leave Flibble on his home for 6 days with Brutus, because this close to the bog, because it's moving and getting closer. So Cyrus, my friend Cyrus, if it's all right with you, could Flibble please take Brutus back to the town?
I don't care. Whatever.
And we don't have any supplies for the journey back, assuming we make it out.
We carry our supplies. Once we're out of this bog, I can forage for food as I usually do. Admittedly, my cooking isn't perfect, but I'm getting there.
You need Hengist. You need Hengist to make tea.
To make tea. How do you like your chicken, medium or rare?
Rare chicken, gross.
That right?
Rare chicken still has the feathers on it and still boxed.
Right.
Right, so it's Flibble and Brutus and the wagon going back. So you are actually carrying a week's worth of food and rations and water. Each of you can carry. Are you taking wine instead of water?
Oh, I'll take one bottle of wine, I guess.
Okay, then one bottle of wine.
It out.
So what about the salt?
It's going to be heavy.
It is.
Yeah, it's heavy. Yeah.
I'm going to cut one of the pack the bags open and empty a small amount of salt into Cyrus's wine bottle. No, I'll carry some in my pockets or in a pouch.
Yeah, in a pouch. Yeah.
I'll carry some in a pouch too.
Okay, then. There. And what about the
trail
wood?
rations? Will salt pork serve instead of salt?
What about the wood? Are you taking the wood with you as well?
I can't see anywhere good out there to light a fire.
It's still morning, right?
It is. It's morning at the moment, but
we got plenty of wood then. We got plenty of wood then.
Did we have to carry or not?
Yeah, you got about 6 bundles of wood, I think you brought with you.
Well, I say we try and bring just enough that we can make it to the farmstead.
Okay.
Because if we're thinking correctly, then maybe we can get by with carrying that much, and maybe when we go and defeat this evil shaman making a bog, then we can hopefully have all those spirits just wander away.
Okay.
Travel back might be easier.
I suppose that if we fall into the water, at least we'll float with the wood on our backs.
You hope.
We hope.
Float face down, but
I'm assuming we're also bringing the horses, right?
Well, that's my next question. Are you taking the horse?
Yeah.
I think I
How
saw a
bad is
movie
the
where they take a
dog?
horse to a swamp.
It's not necessarily going
It
to
ended
go
well,
well for
right?
the horse.
Yep, it ended
Ah.
so well. They both
Yeah.
got stuck, and it was happy endings.
Fine,
Eventually.
we won't take the horse.
Okay, then.
I'll walk this one out.
So Fribble is going back with the cart, with Brutus, with the horses, with the wine, apart from one battle, the salt, apart from salt, that's it. And are you all carrying 10 meters of rope? Is that a decision as well?
Hazard always does. Yeah.
Yeah. So is
I will
everybody
certainly take
doing
quite
that?
a lot of rope, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And this Bartleby might not be able to carry that much.
Yeah,
stuff.
Bartleby's just he's gonna cut it off with just the bare essentials, Susie. He's small.
Okay, then. So as you set off westward still towards the center of where you think this homestead is, there's various things that you notice straight away. The first thing that you notice is that your feet are often in the water. And even when they're in the water or out of the water, everything is very spongy. Okay, so there's a lot of what appears to be mud in places. The tufts of grass seem to be a big tuft, but it seems to be narrowed down to the roots. So those don't appear to be safe all the time to stand on. And you also notice that the water is, and the mud underneath and any bits of vegetation, it slows you down terrifically. You feel that you're dragging your feet through treacle all the time. So the first thing that we need to do is that to remind you that there is this thin mist hanging over the ground. So at times you can't see the ground at all. So we're going to be going from like when you set off to halfway through the day. And at this point, I would like you all to roll an endurance check. If you're successful, go for it, Hazard.
I was going to say, while Hazard's walking, he will be taking the lead, and he will be jabbing his spear into the ground as he walks ahead.
Yeah, and it always seems to go down, even though it's not like sinking mud or anything like that.
No.
So you all need to make an endurance check. If you succeed, you're fine. If you don't succeed, you actually take a level fatigue. If you fumble, you take 2 levels of fatigue. And if you crit on it, you don't need to make the second endurance roll to go through the day. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
Right. So let me see. Cyrus is
success across the board.
Oh yes, let's get rid of all those good rolls now. Okay, so you start sort of like tramping through this this bog land, and this is Hazra, you haven't even seen anything like this forever. You've seen swamps.
Yes.
If you remember, when you went to see the Breaktrachians, if you remember,
That's right.
but this is not like a bog. This is not like a swamp. It's something that you've never ever experienced this sort of biome before. And the other thing that you notice is that as you go through the water, when you sort of like stop to check bearings, you notice that there's various insects attached to your boots. That
was my next question.
Yeah, a bit like water boatmen or something like that. They seem to be an insect that has powerful mandibles that are actually attached onto you. Now, these are probably not going to harm you at all, but there is a chance. There is a chance that one of you will be allergic to the bugs. Now, so what you all need to do is that you're going to roll a percentile dice, just a 1d100. If it comes up either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, then you're allergic to these bites, and I'll tell you what will happen. If you get 5 or above, you're fine. Okay. 40 is good, 42 is good, 24 is good, 47 is good.
I was waiting to get a crit on that.
76 good. Is that everyone? 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. These insects, you're not familiar with them, Hazra. They seem to be quite strange, and you spend some time, because you're not too sure what they're doing, almost like picking these off. You think the closest they come to are ticks. And you're very much aware, Hazra, that, if you're not carefully removing these,
ticks are bad.
Yeah, the body will break off, and the tick can bury itself into your leg. So you spend some time moving them and sort of like making sure that they're
every bit's out
off. Yeah, which of course is then taking time. The other thing that you do find, could you all roll a 1d6, please? Okay, then. Your 1d6 is the number of leeches you find between both legs. So, Dave.
Ooh, for my healing kit, this will be very nice.
So
I haven't had fresh leeches in a long time.
So a bit of salt on these would probably take them off. But they obviously quite like Tarek and Bartleby, and you can either have 6 on one leg, so you spend some time stopping and getting these off, either with bits of soap or just by slowly trying to pull them off. The other thing I'm going to say is that you definitely get this feeling if you do anything, any quick movements, you feel that there's going to need to be a check to stop you falling or tripping over or anything like this. The ground is totally unstable. Just to let you know, Hazra, if you want to find a place to camp, you will have to make a formidable level survival check.
I thought so.
Yeah.
This place is, which is why I thought bringing the wood might be a bad idea, but hey ho. We'll keep pressing on. But when it starts to feel like it's going to start getting dark, I will start looking for somewhere there to camp.
Okay, yeah. So there's the other thing that I would like you to do is just make for me a willpower check, each of you.
Oh yes.
Just give me like that scene in Stand By Me.
Tarek, give it a tick.
Just be happy with the knowledge your willpower would be 79.
Yeah. So is it just Tarek, you can't do anything with yours because a fumble can't be changed. Merrick, you can re-roll yours and use a point of luck if you wish.
I've only got one more point of luck. I'm torn on this one.
We're going to need as many people as we can to hold Tarek down.
if I spend the point of luck, I've still got less than 50% chance of making it. So,
Correct. Yeah.
So I'm going to leave that as it is.
Okay then. So Merrick and Tarek, you have this you feel nauseous as you going through the peat bog, and you definitely feel that this strange smelling gas seems to be around here all the time. Anybody who's close to the ground, Cyrus, you get more of it, but currently it might be a good time to put
face masks on.
Yeah,
I think I'll do that.
okay.
To be fair, Hasra is always on.
Smells.
Yeah, you're always just like a ninja person.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so face masks on. I just need to know one more thing. How are you traveling? Are you traveling in a straight line to hide your numbers?
Yes.
Or, or are you going in a different order altogether?
I would suggest that we go in column, and follow in the footsteps of the person in front, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, which would be me at the front, poking my way. Also looking out for a high up flat hillock or anything like that, just sticking out.
What?
Yeah, I'm looking at as we're walking like a hillock, a raised up
hillock.
part of
I
peat.
thought he said something.
Yeah, I heard it too.
That's why I asked.
Large flat.
That's why I sort of like, what? I'm just bringing your character onto here, by the way, just so we've got them in case we need to do any, we might have to do something like initiative. You never know what's going to happen.
Things don't happen anymore.
These places. So once I've got you all on, can you make sure that you're in your rough order? I've just got to bring Hazra on, who's hiding right there up at the top there. Hopefully you can still move your characters. Hazra, hang on, I'm going to make you smaller, don't worry. Merrick's a bit big. Hazra's not. Cyrus is not. There you go. So if you'd like to put yourself in some kind of marching order, going straight up to the north is first. Yeah, like that.
Nobody is rushing to come into second place. I suppose I'll take it. I must say that as a lightly armored mobility fighter, I'm really looking forward to combat in a bog.
Cyrus, are you walking to one side? Oh,
he's fumbling. He's drinking while he's walking.
Zigzagging.
Is that what you're doing?
Not very stable ground.
So you're going to be over, or do you want to click into the middle?
Why not click in the middle so we all can go together?
Bartleby, are you going to be okay at the back?
Not usually, but maybe this time will be different.
Did you want to swap round? I don't mind going at the back.
Well, you could come to the back and we could all just move forward one.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll take the back.
Cyrus is usually a good second person to run in with his stick.
So why doesn't Merrick go there and I just move Hazra down like that?
That works.
Rather than us all moving. Okay then. So the next thing I would like you to do as you're trudging through, I would like you all to make a perception check for me. Wait before you roll. This perception check will be at formidable. Okay, so roll your perceptions and you need to be successful at formidable level. Oh, who got the crit?
Then again, maybe this is going to happen.
I saw that crit go.
Well,
Merrick got it.
And Hazra. Hazra sees something.
I got hard, but not formidable.
Not formidable. Bartleby's looking somewhere completely different.
I'm
Okay,
making
then.
sure that Cyrus doesn't fall over and stumble into the swamp.
Yeah. So Hasra and Merrick, okay, when we roll for initiative, you will get 1 round of actions, okay, before we go into the next round. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah. So not everybody sees this. Only those people who have got their
And it's 2 perfect characters. It's 2 scouty characters.
It is, yeah.
It's either end of the column. It's absolutely
That's right,
the
which
right
is
people.
perfect.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh God.
We can run away really fast, can't we?
Yes. Yeah. I step
Nothing
behind
to see
Bartleby.
here. Nothing to see here.
Oh no, there's one either side. I can't just hide behind.
So what? Let me just get their because they're D&D tokens that I'm using. So I don't think you can see the bars in any case. But what you see coming from either side, I'm going to stagger them, Hasra, so you actually see it coming off to your left. Does that make sense?
Yep,
Coming towards. And Merrick, you see yours coming straight towards you, perpendicular to the party. They seem to be semi-submerged, what appears to be some kind of crocodile or alligator. You can see their sort of like the bony tail propelling them, and they seem to be using their claws to sort of like travel over muddy bits, but underwater again. And the other thing is, both of you, they are so well camouflaged. It's unbelievable. You know, everybody else, it's only you guys with your scout experience can actually see them heading towards you. Okay, then. So first things first, please remember to have your token selected before you... I'm just getting rid of everybody. Oh, who's popped up then?
Oh, sorry.
I can put you on. It's not a problem. Let me just... You're too far up the map. Let me do that. Add to turn. There you go. What was it?
72.
Was it 72 or 15?
It was 15. Can you use a point of look to reverse it though?
It would mean you went first, but that
Yeah.
Was it Shadowrun that you got a
It
number?
kept on going for every single every
so if
10,
you got
wasn't it?
15, you sort of like got 5 and then 0 or
15,
something like that. Right. So this first one, Hazra and Merrick, who's got the highest initiative?
We're both on 15.
No,
I'm 11.
So you're
You bonus, sorry, 11.
11.
Ah.
Okay, then you can go simultaneous for this one because you're going to be at opposite areas, aren't you?
Yeah.
So let me just bring on my little beasties. They're going in with 14. So as always,
Oh, handy. The
only person that will go after them will be Bartleby.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll put that there. Okay, then. We're ready. So, Hazra and Merrick, you see these as they're moving towards you. So, in your action, you can do anything that you want, but by the end of that action, does that make sense? They're going to be on you.
Yeah. Mine's nice and easy. I'm going to free action yellow warning.
Yep.
While simultaneously throwing my spear at this one here.
Oh, yes. This is your long spear that your father gave you.
This is, that was taken away by that chuffing wyvern. and I had to get remade.
Yeah, I remember it. I remember it quite clearly.
Yes. It's had many handles and many tips, but it's still my father's
Still
spear.
the same spear.
That's right.
Okay, then.
No one handled it like you.
So off you go. Roll your chuck your spear. You give out the warning, and then chuck your spear. Go for it. Oh, the suspense is killing me, Hazra. Are you still there?
Sorry, I was trying to find it.
It still says that you've got 1 grade harder, but you're not at the moment.
Why?
48 is fine. I'm going to evade because I'm moving towards you, but these are big sluggish things. Yeah. So I get a fumble. So you actually get 2 specials.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it? Because it's a success, but I've not failed. I fumbled. So there's two levels of difficulty there. So you chuck your spear.
First one's going to be bypass armor. And the second will be impale.
Nice. So roll a d20 where it's going to be. Is bypass armor a crit or not?
It's a proper crit. Oh, okay. Can I use a proper crit?
No, because you haven't got a crit.
I haven't got a crit, have I?
Yeah,
no, I've just got 2 specials.
Yeah.
Bypass. Sorry, bypass. Oh, well.
Doesn't matter how many times you say
it. I know. Impale and I can't
lead.
Oh, marksman.
Oh, so you move it 1 location. Yeah. Go for it. So let's see where it goes. Oh, did you see that? You've actually whacked it. You've whacked it in a tail.
No.
So you can either move it to the hindquarters or one of the 2 hind legs.
Its ass.
Yeah. If I hit his leg, that'll be.
Or you can leave it in the tail. You don't have to take it, even though you
get the tails chopped off all the time. Hindquarters.
Hindquarters. Okay, then. Yep. That's cool. So do 2 lots of damage roll. And then we'll take the highest one because you're doing impale.
Short spear. Why haven't you appeared? Oh,
it's your tension building.
I know. Well, that's strange. It's not popping up. Right, just bear with me. Sorry, just give me 1 second. I'm just going to pop that character sheet back in, take it out there, do it there. Let's do it again while it's not popped out.
Ah.
No, still nothing. My character sheet's broken.
Yeah.
Right. Let me just do this. Flash roll 1d8 plus 1.
7. Roll it again. Oh, there it is. There it is. 7 points damage to my hindquarters. Yeah. So that clink of that. So okay then. And then my rolls will be hard because I've got a
spear
sticking out in me. And Merrick, what would you like to do?
Right. Yep. Merrick also is going to yell out "monster to the right" and then step slightly forward just to make himself a more obvious target.
Yeah.
Normally, when he draws his sword, he just drops the scabbard on the ground, but he doesn't want to do that because he wants to ever find it again. So he's drawing his weapon and then quickly shoving the scabbard through his belt
Okay.
Before taking up a combat stance.
Yeah.
And letting it come to him.
And then that will be your action done as we go into round 1, turn 1. Cyrus, you've been alerted to these. You have a quick look around. You can see there's a alligator, a swamp alligator up in ahead of you with quickly approaching or about to hit Hazra, who's got no weapon out at the moment. You do notice he's got a spear in the alligator's got a spear in him, and you can see behind you as you quickly look around, because you heard the shout from there as well. Merrick has stepped forward and is engaging with a swamp gator at the back. What would you like to do?
Am I able to hit the alligator with my glaive?
Which one? Even the one with Hazra, you're going to have to move to get to it. So as long you've probably got enough move for a quick move, just to move, and then you can hit by all means.
I will go in for the hit. Let's see. Oh yeah. That's some good stuff.
Yeah. So as the alligator will use an action point and to actually see whether or not it can bite your glaive as it comes along, which is part of its parrying routine. But no,
nope.
It fails. So I need you'll have a special. I need a special hit location and damage.
All right, so give me a sec. Let me just go in for I'll do the area. Do D20. Sorry.
I need you special first before you hit.
Oh, special. Oh, so special. I will do I always forget the name where you prevent them from attacking.
Press advantage. It won't work.
Yeah, it won't work. Oh.
No.
I'll go for what's my special on my glaive? I'll do bleed.
Okay. Yep. So I've got your hit location, which is 12. I need some damage from you with your little glaive. It doesn't do max. It doesn't do big damage, doesn't it? Because it's little. It's little.
It's girthy. I'm pressing the button. It's not doing anything. It's weird.
Can you just roll it normally?
Let's see. Do this +2. So add so 7.
7 points of damage to the 12, which is this front leg. This is the same one as 7. Okay then, and I need to make an endurance roll to match your. What was your to hit roll?
My hit roll was 49. Yeah,
49. Okay, so it fails. So at the start of the next round, I will get 1 level of fatigue. And that's you done and dusted. So Tarek, we're up to you.
I'll look at the one approaching Merrick.
Yeah.
And try to tire it out with a cloak magic spell.
Okay. Yeah, that will
and your endurance is the resistance.
Cool. Yep.
Cool.
Just bring up my crocodile. What was your to hit roll?
33. So it shouldn't be that hard for you
to 53.
Yep.
So I resist that. Don't forget to knock off your magic points, people. And
that was a good roll.
Hazra.
I shall draw my scimitar.
Okay, thank you. Merrick. Oh, Merrick, your first hit of the game.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah,
remember, you're a combat character, so we don't want you to fumble this roll.
Actually, I was feeling fine about this till you said that.
You've got
yeah,
Tarek and Bartleby looking at you with your big sword out.
Yep. The first time they've ever seen me swing my sword, so it better be a good one.
Let's see how it goes.
Let's have a go. Well, it hits.
Nice.
50-50 chance.
You could use a point of luck to make that a critical.
He's only got 1 point of luck
I've
left.
only got 1 point of luck left. I don't
He's a
know
bit like you,
I'm
Bartleby.
assuming it's tough, but
oh no, you have 2 action points. Yeah,
it's a hit. I'll accept it as a hit.
Okay then. So this is my parry to with. No, I miss with my parry. So you'll get a special. So I need a special hit location and damage. So your special could be choose location. And that's why we always need to know specials before dice rolls.
Yeah. I think I'm going. This is a big scary thing with lots of teeth. I want to hit it in the head.
Okay, yeah. By all means. So that would be used to choose location, head. So I need some damage from you.
Damage. I don't do great damage, unfortunately, but then again.
Ooh, 10.
That was max damage, yeah.
That was.
You could have impaled it as well, which would be nice. Sorry, 10 seconds.
I didn't want to impale it though, because then I've got to get the sword back.
Oh yes, that is true. Okay, so that takes it down to 0 hit points. So I need to roll my endurance against your original dice roll, which I failed to do, which means, where did you hit me? In my head.
The head.
Yeah. So that means that I'm nicely unconscious as you power your sword. Tell me how you strike this with your sword too.
Well, I mean, the standard technique is that the hands go forward as if punching, and then flips down to bring the sword in against the side of its head in a resounding whack. I mean, I could have gone straight down like that, but it's a long way down to hit.
Yeah.
So
Bartleby's there taking notes just so he can.
Merrick shouts, "They're powerless without their heads."
Holds a little card.
Interesting.
9.4.
Crocodiles. So the bottom crocodile is out of it. The top crocodile has no action points left, because it tried to evade yours and tried to parry both of yours. So it's out of action points. And Bartleby.
I mean, I'm in awe, I guess, of this one hit kill. But I'll direct myself otherwise, and
shock, please shock.
I do want to shock, but I'm worried about how
The water.
Well, I mean, it's a shock spell, so it's not actually electricity, but I'm not entirely sure. No, it is electricity. So I don't think that would be wise.
It'd be fine if you hit. And
Yeah, don't miss.
It does. Isn't it accompanied by a loud thunderclap?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what? Bartleby's not an electrician. He's gonna go for it.
Which one?
The living one.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm wearing rubber boots.
Because I saw the one just get like knocked down and it's probably limp, right?
Yeah, it is slowly rolling over onto its back.
In which case, I'd like lean back or look back and see the other crocodile and just quickly do a Amriel, stop it. Amriel, comma, stop it.
You have not dream again.
Continue the spelling. A 64 and with
so there's this almighty. I get evade, but I don't have any action points, so evade always needs action points. So this resounding crack of thunder. I wonder if I have a crack of thunder. I need that. On its 5.
5 for 2.
5 for, so its 5 will be stunned for 2 rounds, won't it?
Yes.
Let me just see where its 5 is. That's a hind leg. Okay, so it's sort of like a bang, and down it goes. So we're coming up to
No retreat for you.
Darth in the chat has put this really small cloud with this really small lightning bolt comes out. It looks so pathetic, but the thoughts there. This crocodile now has 1 level of fatigue due to your bleed, Cyrus.
Yeah, that's right.
And 1 level of hardness due to my spear. Yeah.
So it's double hardness now, if that makes sense.
It's well hard.
Oh,
It's well hard, yeah.
super hard.
Cyrus, you're up.
Cyrus, you're gonna go again. With the attack.
Nice.
With his glaive, because this guy's just not fighting back, and Cyrus is angry that he almost got chomped.
I don't think you've nearly been chomped. Can I? Oh, that was
That was close.
That was close. I've got no action points, so you'll get a special hit location damage.
Does bleeding stack?
Yes, it does.
All right, I'll do bleed again. Make this even impossible for this crocodile to attack me. Jeez.
That's how you know the lightning was far away. It took that long to hear Barnaby's electricity.
That's coming in my 2, which is my tail.
Your tutor, as they call it, because it toots out of there.
No.
No, that's such a terrible roll.
3 points damage. That bounces off his armor.
Yeah.
It doesn't. No penetration there at all. Tarek.
I will try to disrupt that one that's still fighting.
Yep. Nice. Roll your folk magic spell. Oh yeah. That goes nicely. I probably get a resist on it. I think it's evade, is it?
I thought it was endurance.
You're right, it is. It's endurance.
Or is it one of those ones where you could do either?
No, it's I've got it up now. It is endurance, which is good for me because my evade's rubbish, but my endurance is better. But not good enough. Not good enough at all. So 1d3 damage to a random hit location. So roll a 1d20. What is it with this in the tail?
We must destroy the tail. It's where the brain
is. And do your 1d3 point roll for damage. Oh, I think it
ignores armor.
It ignores armor.
Yeah,
both natural and other.
Yeah. So, but 1 point.
Yeah, tickle.
Oh, it takes it down a bit. It's been hit there before. That's Tarek done. Hazra.
Hazra will.
Your scimitar is out.
Indeed, I'm going to take a resounding swipe at this thing. Judo chop.
71 hits. Yeah. So you got a special hit location damage.
Special is going to be bleed.
Yeah.
And location will be.
Please be a tail. No. Oh, you're working your way up. You're at the 4 quarters now, just behind the head. So do
Lovely.
some
We got
damage.
Let's see
Yeah.
if this rolls this time. Everything else rolls apart from. No, weird. Damage is not rolling.
That's strange.
That's 6 points.
6 points. Let me do my endurance as well. Cyrus, did you do bleed as well?
Yeah.
Because I don't think I rolled my endurance
Oh.
to resist the bleed. No, I didn't. And what was your 10? I've got a beat.
Ooh.
And 91 misses. And it doesn't succeed. So that's 2. And then this is your bleed, Hazra. 20. What was your to hit roll?
My to hit roll was 71.
Oh, yeah. So so I got 3 levels of fatigue.
I think you should retire now. I think this crocodile should just go back and live life as if it never saw us before.
No, it doesn't.
Hang on, you hit it for how much? 6 points.
6 points, yeah.
In its hind quarters. Okay. 4 quarters, wasn't it? Yeah.
4 quarters, yeah.
That's Hazra done. Merrick.
I'm not going to trust that this thing isn't just stunned, so reversing the blade and just skewering it.
Nice. Crocodiles have got none left. Bartleby.
I mean, I'm watching my allies destroy these crocodiles. I'm gonna take a glance around, actually, see if there's any others approaching, if I may.
Okay. Looking.
Check perception.
Yeah.
Doing good. I'm gonna use a point of luck to reverse it to an 18.
Yeah. So, that would do your formidable, wouldn't it?
It would, yes.
Yes. It doesn't look like there's any coming anywhere near at the moment. So you're probably fine. So we're coming back up to the top. Round 2, turn 1.
Finish it, Cyrus. Finish it.
Cyrus, finish it.
Finish him.
Actually, Cyrus. Cyrus still had a thing to do. He has 3 actions.
Oh, you have
so
3.
before round.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, so you'll have another one. Sorry, I'm still in classic fantasy mode.
You're good.
Yeah.
I would have forgot too. I was like, wait. So I'm going to do it again. Another attack.
I just thought it was Bartleby and make a mess of it. Point of luck.
Actually, you know what? Point of luck, because you know what? Spoiler alert! It's 8 minutes left. So point of luck.
Time to extend the combat.
Okay, so I need a hit location and some damage.
Oh yeah,
I need a special as well.
I can't. With melee, can I choose location? Okay, I'm going to choose location. Face the head.
The head.
Not
the tail. That is.
No, only I hit the tail. That's just what it is. Only spelled.
Do the head then. Go for it.
All right, doing the head.
I need some damage from you.
+2. 8 damage in the face.
8.
Right in the face.
5. Okay then. Okay then. We're fine. We just got 1 point left in that.
Oh boy.
Tarek, do you have 3 actions? Or 2?
I have 2.
Hazra?
Indeed. Let's see what we can do here.
Yep. Oh, you're tempted, aren't you?
No, I'm not gonna.
No,
am I?
Do it. Make it epic.
Go on, we'll reverse it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll actually get 2 2 specials,
Yeah.
both of which
Special,
can be
special.
crits. So you bypass armor,
Yep, definitely. And choose location.
head.
No, tail. Let's do it a flip of a coin.
Wait, did
Right,
Merrick
here it
go
comes.
last time?
He comes.
Merrick.
He comes.
No, oh, it's after me, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're
So
simultaneous.
we're exactly the
Yeah.
same, aren't we? Keep forgetting I can't roll that, can I? So
Right in the eye.
ooh, a 6.
Oh,
A 6.
and that's bypassing my armor, isn't it?
Indeed. Yes.
Yeah. You need to tell me how you're going to finish him.
So with my eye on what Merrick's just done behind me, and with a smile of what's the word? With he's
Splendor.
impressed. Hazra's impressed. He goes back to what Hazra knows best and going straight for the head again. And yes, he gets it, and he swipes his scimitar straight through the mouth, which cuts straight through the jaw and straight into the back of the spine.
Superb.
And then I'll get my spear back.
Yeah, just that's what I was going to say. Just roll your brawn.
Right. When I first did this, it took me days. I had to get other people to get my spear out. And I'm going to use a point
asks,
of luck
the friendly
reverse
priest who
that.
can give you the strength of Amriel to.
Yeah.
That'd be,
Yeah.
that'd
So
be silly.
are you using your point of
My
luck?
last point of luck to reverse that and get out, because I'm not going to embarrass myself by spending like 4 days.
Everybody's looking. You sort of like give it a little bit of a wiggle this time before you try to pull it out. Yeah. So there was no significant movement that round, so nobody needed to do an athletics check or anything like that. And you've got your faces covered up, so we're fine with the gas at the moment. So we now just need to hopefully we'll have like another half of the day in the next session. So you will make your endurance rolls at the start of the next session for the next half of the day. Nobody critted, so everybody's going to make one, and then we're going to see whether or not you can find a place to sit down or camp at night. And remember, they usually come at night.
At least dinner's sorted, though.
Say again, sorry?
At least dinner's sorted, though.
Yeah.
It came to us.
Yeah, you can have kebabbed alligators if you wish.
Gatorade.
Say again, sorry?
Gatorade.
Gatorade. Is that rude?
No, it's a
energy drink.
pun.
All right, got you. Brilliant. Okay, so well done, people. We now can see what Merrick and Terek is. I think it's really nice that you chose rhyming names.
I had my name picked out for so long.
Merrick and Terek. So I never know whether or not Bartleby's just left us, by the way. No, he's not. He's there. So next time will be the second half day in the peat bog. What does it hold for you, and what will actually happen when you reach the farmstead? And did Brutus and Flibble get home safe and sound? Or did traveling by themselves? yeah. Ignore the young child.
Priorities.
Right. And before we go, people can say where people can find you and what you're offering this next week. And we'll start at the head of the marching order with you, Hazra.
Normally, I would be doing Baldur's Gate on Sunday, Night's Black Agents on Monday, and Woof Warhammer on Thursday, but we've got a week off again. I know. Work commitments.
Oh, work is such a pain. It just
I
interrupts
know.
everything.
It's a problem when we've got people around everywhere and they've got to fly away from things.
Yeah.
It's
just to
Warhammer might be on Thursday, possibly, but I do believe it. No, it actually might. I don't know.
Zed was in the chat earlier, by the way.
Oh, bless him. Good.
Yeah. Was that it? Sorry, I interrupted.
Sorry, that was it. Yes. Yeah. Sorry, no, that was
it. Tarek, anything?
No, I got nothing.
No. Bartleby.
Yes, I have a podcast you can find on Apple and Spotify podcasts. It's called And I Took That Personally, where myself and a friend talk about movies and take it too personally.
What's the up and coming one?
The latest episode is The Nun and the Conjuring universe as a whole that Brad took way too seriously.
Right.
Or personally, I should say. And then after that, we're thinking of doing the movie Stay Alive, where if you die in the game, you die for real.
Yeah, die for real, yes.
Oh.
It's so stupid.
There's something on at
Not the Matrix?
Yeah. There's something on a program, like on Prime Video or something, about you're not allowed to stay at the office late at night because you get killed or things like that. So I haven't watched it. So but that's Bartleby. Merrick.
No, I've got absolutely nothing planned at the moment.
Oh.
So going to be very boring.
I do
still have a game coming up. Hang on.
Oh yeah, did you get any more players?
Close. Yeah, next weekend, if I've got any players signed up to it, I've got a game of Castles and Crusades.
Not on a Saturday evening, though.
No, Saturday night. It's like midnight, Saturday to Sunday.
Yeah, I remember now, yeah.
But at the moment, I've only got one player signed up to that. So if anybody wants to learn to play Castles and Crusades, it's a free game. Just go to startplaying.games to take a look at next Saturday's games and find it. And if not, I will have to delay it until I've got some players.
I think the midnight, you probably better get in people across the pond, don't you?
Yeah, this is what I'm hoping for. Yeah.
I would love to, but gone are the days of me staying up past a certain time.
Well, I say
people here know?
So at weekends, I'm still up all night.
So, I knew what you were referring to then, Medivac. I knew. Can I just say that I'm normally in bed at 8 o'clock. So to a Saturday, I don't know how I actually push myself through to get to 10. I think what it is because everything's really involved. Does that make sense? So I'm sort of like thinking all the time, so I don't have time to think that I'm tired or anything like that. Okay, then. Cyrus, have you got anything to entertain us with this week?
No, nothing much. I'm gonna be live streaming my attempt at some stand-up comedy. I'll be performing at the Last Stop Retirement Estates. Of course, that's named after the bus stop near it. I'll be there for the late dinner show at 3 p.m. Between the Blind Magician and the Tony Bennett impersonator. So expect me there.
Sounds a good slot.
Yeah, it's a good slot. Hopefully everyone remembers to turn their hearing aids on this time. Besides that, nothing crazy besides that.
I just feel that this always goes completely over the top of my head and I have no idea. But if I hear somebody else laugh, I just think laugh. Just laugh at that point.
What would be funnier? If he's really doing these things,
and not making them.
What are you talking about? I'm live. If you guys don't want to watch the stream.
So yes, thank you to the players. Thank you to you supporting us in the chat. And please do remember that you can keep up to date with all of the RPG stuff on Ko-fi. And also remember that I do have a TikTok now, and one of my TikToks is up to 12,700 views at the moment.
Wow.
So do go and check out all my socials. That doesn't actually work. But yeah, you can find me somewhere. Just to let you know, I'll be back tomorrow morning, bright and early, 10 o'clock through to 4 o'clock. Some more White Strike or Strake Mayhem in ESO. Lots of PvP to get extra bonuses this Saturday and Sunday. And also to let you know that I then on the evening will be doing some GM prep over on YouTube. So players, do not watch it. Do not watch it. Until then, yes, Hazard, it worked.
You know what? I just clicked the little plus sign for the damage modifier, then clicked it so it came back on again and pushed it. Let's just try Scimitar. No, Scimitar doesn't work. I'll do the same again. I can push the plus off and put it back on again. Yeah,
there you
go. There's a glitch with the formula for the damage modifier.
So we now know.
So turn it on and turn it off again.
Yeah.
So turn it off and turn it back on again. Sorry.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Everything.
Okay, then we will see you. I'll see you either tomorrow or we will see you all back here next week. Thank you for coming on. I hope we enjoyed it. And if you missed any of it, it will be up on YouTube by tomorrow, next Saturday, about 8:30 in the morning, so you can watch it. But if you're a member of the YouTube channel, then you actually get to see it earlier. So thank you for coming along. Thank you to everybody who's saying thank you and good night in the chat. I'll see you all next time. So it's goodbye from me. See you later. And it's goodbye from them.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.